This is what's wild in New Hampshire. This is what, Wednesday, September 11th, 2024. I'm down in Newmarket on Ash Swamp Road with Lindsay. Lindsay, one of the town engineers. Tell us what we have here, Lindsay. Every time I drive Ash Swamp Road in Newmarket, I have to chuckle to myself and see, well, there's been progress made here. Tell us what you have going here, Lindsay. What's happening in Newmarket?
Well, this site here is a hot spot for turtle crossing. So what you see, the pavement markings there are kind of affectionately referred to as the turtle crosswalk. It's a temporary measure to raise awareness for where the turtles cross the road. This site's been studied for many years, and there have been several turtle species observed crossing at this site, and a high number of turtle mortalities. So we're hoping to reduce the turtle mortalities, raise awareness of this crossing, and slow some of the traffic here. And this is a temporary measure because we're looking to replace this culvert in the future. So this is kind of our interim setup to see what we can do while we work on a full design and replacement.
So there are designed turtle crossing culverts.
Yes, there was a study that UNH did last year, and that study has some guidelines and recommendations for elements that can be incorporated into culvert designs that will benefit wildlife like turtles and other terrestrial wildlife as well. So,
now, when I went by here a few weeks ago, you had one of those flashing signs up here. So you've done more than the turtle crossing crosswalk.
Yes, we also had a variable message board up to raise awareness of the peak migration time when the turtles may be crossing the roadway. So that was out through the months of June and July.
Yep, you typically May, June, and July as our turtle months, right?
Yep.
And was it successful? Did you see any trends? Were traffic influenced by your signs?
Yes, so while we had the message board out, we also had a speed radar sign that was collecting traffic data, the number of cars and the speeds, average speeds and peak speeds. And we were able to see through that data collection that average speeds reduced at least 1 to 2 miles per hour through the site, and the percentage of vehicles traveling under 40 miles an hour also increased. So we saw at least some impact.
Some turtle-friendly influence.
Yep.
Nice. All right, well, Lindsay, thank you. And I'm just going to switch over here. We get Ellen Snyder. She's on the Town Conservation Commission. Ellen, give us a little bit about, give us some biological information about our turtles. Why do we need turtle crossings?
Right. So Newmarket is actually a great spot for turtles. We have lots of wetlands and therefore lots of turtles. And in New Hampshire, some of our turtles are endangered. In other words, they're really declining in population. And we have all of the turtles in New Hampshire here, basically in Newmarket. We have Blanding's turtles and spotted turtles, which are some of the more rare ones. We have common painted turtles and snapping turtles. And this particular spot happens to be a road that actually fragments the whole wetland system. So there's a big wetland above and a big wetland below. And the turtles have to move through those wetlands. And when there's a road, oftentimes they'll go over the road they can't get through the culvert.
Okay.
And the thing with turtles is that they live a long time and they take a very long time to mature. So they don't produce eggs until maybe 15 years, 20 years for some species. And so when one of them gets hit on the road, particularly a female, if she's got eggs,
which is typically when they're moving in May and June.
They're trying to find a nest in the wetlands. They go in the uplands to nest, and so if they get run over, we lose a huge potential population, a female in the population. So it's pretty devastating.
And it's been studies in other states show if you remove just a handful of turtles, it can significantly impact that population. You don't need to lose many to lose your population.
Absolutely. But the great thing is we do have these species here. Unfortunately, they have been killed on this road, Blanding's turtles and spotters, but the great thing is that means they're still here.
Okay.
And we have an opportunity to work to protect the wetlands, to provide better crossings under the road, and also to educate people about how important the wetlands are. And the really great thing in Newmarket, because I'm from Newmarket, I chair the Conservation Commission, we have an incredible partnership.
And a long-time wildlife biologist, I should add.
Wildlife biologist, thank you. We have Lindsay, our town engineer. We have a great Department of Public Works. We have the Conservation Commission. We're partnering with Fish and Game on this
Absolutely
program.
important to do
We're
that.
partnering with UNH. Lamprey
So yeah,
Advisory
UNH did a
Committee.
study here, I heard.
UNH
Yeah.
did a study here, so we have great science to tell us what to do. We have these new designs that we can improve this crossing. Again, people are really interested in turtles. They love turtles. People stop to help a turtle across the road. So we have a great opportunity here, and we're looking for some grants because these projects are very expensive. And we think we have a great opportunity and a great project to really help the turtles, which is what we want to do.
How about some advice for other towns? Any other conservation commissions? Where do they start protecting the turtles in their towns?
Right, so one is just to know what you have, and you can work with Fish and Game. They do surveys, or you can get out and look for turtles when they're moving, particularly again in May, June, July.
So that can be a volunteer effort in your town,
volunteer effort in
but
your
somebody
town.
needs to keep the records.
Somebody keeps the records. You can map the wetlands, maybe work with your planning department and map the wetlands in your town, identify the most important ones. This one happens to be, these are prime wetlands. We actually have mapped those in town, so we've mapped all of our wetlands, but we also have a subset that we call prime, and
Okay.
that's actually a state designation,
Okay.
and it means they're super significant
Okay.
because of their size,
All right.
location, the species.
So
that live
this
there.
information is kind of available from Fish and Game,
Absolutely
basically.
available, and we're happy to share. And one of the things we hope here is that this is a pilot or a model project, so people can perhaps replicate in other towns.
Nice.
The other really great thing about this, and I think other projects like this, not only is it great for turtles and the wetlands, but it's going to be really important for flood control, because with a small culvert, it's too small.
Okay.
If the road floods, the DPW has to come and fix the road. The public has to avoid.
Every town in New Hampshire has been replacing the culverts the
Yes,
last
and so
5 or 6 years.
The way
Yep.
with these projects work, you put in a better system, and so you don't have to replace the culvert.
Ah.
It's a much more permanent
Okay.
fix. So it helps with flood control. Helps with, we know we're getting weird
Right.
storms,
Oh yeah.
and so it's
More
both a
intense
public
storms.
safety, public welfare, public budgets.
And it helps
as
the
well as
wildlife.
It helps the wildlife.
Nice.
Yep.
All right. Thank you much, Ellen. We got Steve Crawford over here. Steve Crawford, he's we're going to switch out here with the New Hampshire Wildlife Federation. He's on the board with me. And Steve, what's the federation been up to? He's our turtle lead man. Of course, Josh Megacy at Fish and Game. He's the turtle guy. We rely on him for his expertise. But you know what?
do.
You need somebody in your organization that's likes turtles.
and to do some of the work, yeah. So a year or so ago, it was brought to the Conservation Commission's attention that there might be some opportunities to facilitate habitat conservation, wildlife management, species management, beyond just the traditional hunting stuff that we look at. And
This the New Hampshire Wildlife Federation, yeah.
New Hampshire Wildlife Federation,
Normally
yes.
thought it was the hook and bullet people, but you know we have a lot more interest, don't we, Steve?
we have broader interest in that. I like those things, but this is a pretty fantastic thing. We worked with Josh at Fish and Game and some others to try and identify good nesting spots for turtles for a couple of reasons. One, just to improve habitat, and two, there is work out of Massachusetts that shows if you can build nesting sites in the appropriate spots, you can minimize the amount of times those turtles might need to cross roads and minimize traffic risks to the turtles too.
Wow.
We had a hard time finding private landowners at first, worked with a couple of municipalities and did 3 projects, I believe, three
Nice.
sites last year,
Okay.
and managed to get some donations for those. Did the hand labor myself, and with Jim Morris, our president, who helped, and managed to get them done fairly well.
Nice.
Our hope is going into next year, maybe double that number, so maybe 5 or 6
And
sites
we're going
on town
to
lands.
budget for it.
And we are working on the funding for it too. So it would be relying on donations, but there sound like there might be some grant opportunities as well. So we are hoping to, what started out as sort of a pilot test balloon, we're hoping to stand up into a more permanent, long-term thing, for lack of a better word, that the Federation can become known for. We can help facilitate, we can work with towns, we can find those folks, we can find private landowners if they want. We can bring Josh along, or whoever the turtle biologist is, to help us identify the appropriate spots on the land. And then it's a matter of clearing a spot. Again, some handwork with shovels and rakes and pouring sand at the right time of year. And then I've been, those 2 two of the ones we did last year, maybe just a couple miles from my house. So I take a walk every week with the beer and the dogs just to have a look.
Yep, nice. So
It's been
work
good.
is ongoing,
It
but
is.
we're hoping to do a half a dozen for 2025. If you're a Conservation Commission member or a private landowner or forester looking to help the turtles in your town or the projects you're working on, the New Hampshire Wildlife Federation, we're willing here to step in and help you. Make sure we can get Josh out there to approve the site and make sure things are done right, and we'll find some money to help you with that project. So we're willing to pitch in and help you with your turtle nesting project. The New Hampshire Wildlife Federation, we're wild about turtles, aren't we, Steve?
We are.
This is wildlife biologist Eric Orfer. What's wild in New Hampshire?